Today we're going to talk about two new skills with multiplying fractions. The first skill that we're going to talk about is multiplying mixed numbers by a whole number. And we are going to pay special attention to the words as much as. So we're working with fractions, trying to figure out 6 times as much as in this problem. As much as indicates multiplication. So our problem today starts with Valerie's puppy weighs 3 2/3 pounds. Corvin's puppy weighs 6 times as much as Valerie's. How much does Corvin's puppy weigh? So we already talked about as much as being keywords for multiplication. So I know to set up my equation, I know that Valerie's puppy weighs 3 2/3 pounds. And Corvin's puppy weighs 6 times as much. So that means 6 times, or 3 2/3, 6 times. So we could add those fractions, add, and then convert, or we could multiply it. Now, this is not in a format that is ready to be multiplied just yet. The first thing we need to do is put our 6, our whole number, over 1. So that's how we represent a whole number. That just says 6 divided by 1. We know that that has the value of 6 wholes, or the whole number when it's over 1. The next thing we're going to use is the MAD strategy to convert my mixed number to a fraction, because we never work with mixed numbers. We always convert them to improper, then work with them, then convert them back. So let's start with the denominator times the whole number, and then add the numerator, which is 3 times 3 plus 2 is 11 thirds. So 3 2/3 has the value of 11 thirds. Now we do have it in a format that we can multiply. So I'm going to start by multiplying the numerators. 6 times 11 is 66. Now we can multiply straight across the denominators, which is 1 times 3, which is 3. Now we wouldn't say that Corvin's puppy weighs 66 thirds pounds. So we're going to convert this now, convert the value. It's going to have the same value as 66 thirds, but we're going to convert it to a mixed number, how we're used to seeing it. So this says 66 divided by 3. So I'm going to set that problem up inside that division house and divide to get my mixed number. So how many groups, I'm going to start here in this tens place, how many groups of 3 can I make with 6? The answer is 2. Bring down my next 6. How many groups of 3 can I make with 6? That is also 2. We have no remainder, so there's no fractional parts left. So that means Corvin's puppy weighs 22 pounds. And LBS is that abbreviation for pounds. Okay, let's take a look at another example of fraction multiplication. I'm going to back up a slide. This problem is a little bit different, but this is also multiplying. So Emily has 24 erasers. Of those erasers, 2/4 are green and 1/3 are pink. How many erasers are not green or pink? So this is always a little challenging in 5th grade because it doesn't have the word as much as or the word times. So you really need to use those critical thinking skills to pull out of the problem that we're trying to figure out a fractional part of the number 24 for green erasers and a fractional part of the number 24 for pink erasers. So the first problem, we're trying to figure out what 2/4 of 24 is. 2/4 of 24. And for the second problem, so that was for green, for pink, we're trying to figure out what 1/3 of 24 is? So when we're trying to solve for that word of, when we're trying to, let me erase that. When we're trying to determine what a piece of a number is or what sum of a number is, we are going to use multiplication for this. So to set this up, I'm going to replace the word of with a multiplication symbol. So 2/4 times. Now we're going back to that whole number represented over the number 1 so that I'm able to multiply. So again, this just says 24 divided by 1. So anytime anything is divided by 1, it equals itself. So I'm going to multiply straight across the numerator now. 2 times 24. And if you got a pencil and paper out to solve that, you'd find that it's 48. The product is 48. And 4 times 1 is 4. Now, we don't like seeing fractions like this. Again, this is improper. So this really says, to convert it, this really says 48 divided by 4. Now, I know my fact families. I know that I can ask myself what times 4 is going to equal 48. But if you need to work it out on the side, please do. The answer is 12, or the quotient is 12. So, circle that. There are 12, and I'm going to put a G up here for green. So there's 12 green erasers. Let's do the same thing for 1/3. So we're going to solve 1/3 times, replacing that word of with the multiplication symbol, 24 over 1. Again, we're going to multiply straight across the numerator. So 1 times 24 is 24. And straight across the denominator. 3 times 1 is 3. Again, I know my fact families. So I can say 24 divided by 3, or you could go on to the side and work it out. Of course, I love when you work out math problems. 24 divided by 3 is 8 whole. So Emily has 8 pink erasers. Now let's see if 12 and 8 answer our question. How many erasers are not green or pink? Well, I know that she has 12. I'm going to change colors to finish this problem off. We know that Emily has 12. It's hard to write down here. We know that Emily has 12 green erasers and 8 pink erasers. So green and pink combined means she has 20 green and pink. But the question says, how many erasers are not green or pink? So that means I need to find the difference of what Emily has. Emily has 24 erasers, and 20 of them are green or pink. So that means the difference between the two is how many are not green or pink. So 24 take away 20 will give us that difference. So 4 are not green or pink. All right, guys, go ahead and get started on your Wiser.